Braden and I did something that, well, in a way defines our friendship. We went to the movies together and saw an animated film.
The first time in a long time, it feels like.
Yeah, it has been a while, especially for something I'd say of like this scale of movie. We saw Avatar, Fire and Ash. Avatar
Woo!
3.
Doing a Navi
Oh,
kiss.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I was feeling after we left that movie. We'll start with a little non-spoiler before we get into like what the movie is, but like overall, I liked the movie. I had a good time at the movie.
I did. I had a fun time watching it.
So it succeeded in that realm for sure. Like of the three, it's the one that I was most into. Like the big by the end, I mean, you were sitting next to me. I was in it. I was in that.
Like
movie.
any Avatar, I recommend seeing it in the theater first because it's a very fun to-year experience.
Yes. Yeah.
Just long. But
once again,
so pee beforehand.
I really do think when it comes to the three as well, it's paced well. It feels a lot quicker than the last movie. Even though it is longer, it feels faster.
I kept going back and forth with the pacing. I couldn't decide if I thought it was paced well or not. Because there's definitely times where I was like, oh, this is really flying. Like, I don't feel like that long into it. And then there were just a few moments where I was like, all right, we could pick this up a little bit. I'm starting to see the length.
Yes. Yeah. I will say, though I think the pacing was pretty good, there were times where I was like, you could have shaved maybe even 20 minutes off of this movie.
Yeah, maybe just have it a solid 3 hours, and I think it would be fine.
Yeah. But not enough that it took away the fun that I was having, especially when I started having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, also spoiler-free, but not spoiler-free. I mean, I've been telling everybody, and I try to say it in a positive way. It sounds negative. It's positive. Hey, it's the same movie for the third time. And it
sure is.
It's pretty good, though. It's it's the best of all three.
So Kaylee's in the room with me right now.
Oh, right.
And I said, are you worried about being spoiled for this movie since she hasn't seen it yet? And she's like, no, I don't really care too much. And I'm like, okay, well, good, because it's actually kind of very hard to be spoiled from this movie if you've already seen the first two.
Especially if you've seen both, yeah. But almost definitely
you can take a pretty good guess as to what happens in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can guess most of the plot points.
But they do them, I think, to the best of all three.
It's definitely like third in a trilogy type of movie where it's like, yeah, we have elements from the first and second movie, but we're going to do them the biggest we've ever done it before.
Yeah. And by elements, we mean like exact things. Exact things. Like most
down
movies
to like
don't
story
do that.
beats.
Yeah.
Even to like points, like character moments where I was like, didn't we already cover this?
Yeah.
Before?
Yeah.
Set pieces that were reused.
Set pieces, to me, that's the biggest, like where I think this movie did have its own, like, plot lines with characters, even though the way they were going about felt very familiar. They were still kind of unique to this movie. There were sets that just had me like, that's exactly
very same
what the last movie looked like. Like, the final battle is the same battle from both movies in its own way, but, like, you literally see the same set pieces. The whales are battling the people trying to kill the whales again. Like,
and they're still living. Yeah, they're still living in the water people village, like the water tribe village. So like all of like the downtime scenes between like major story chapters still take place in that village, which the same happened in the second movie, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's in terms of like the leap from the first movie to the second movie, where we waited 15 years, like people were ready for a new Avatar, and then we get to see a completely new part of Pandora, like it delivered, like the second movie delivered on that.
Yeah.
Like completely new animals, new regions, new Na'vi.
Mm-hmm.
like this one they did switch around locations, but they had to keep coming up with convoluted excuses as to why they have to move from locations. And their home base is still the Water Tribe base. We do see where the Ash Tribe lives briefly, but it's not focused on. Like, we don't stay in that region for more than a scene, which I was disappointed by, because they are, I think, the most interesting part of the movie.
Yeah. I really enjoyed them. Their world, but also the main girl.
Their storyline and the Colonel's storyline was my most interest. Like, that's my favorite part of the movie. Like, I think that's the strongest part. Which I said, he became my favorite character.
Yeah,
in these movies.
Quaritch.
The Colonel. Miles Quaritch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Colonel.
Very memorable name, Miles Quaritch.
You'll get it, though. Maybe
I don't even know if did they even reveal his name in the first movie?
I think so.
Probably.
So. I haven't watched it in a while. I'll check it out.
They probably said it in all 3 movies, and I just never.
Definitely. Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I really do like seeing. Well, he's the only character that is like developing. Not the only character, but like he has a very interest. Like Jake Sully doesn't really need. Like, he's just an adult guy. Like, he's an adult. He did his developing in the first movie.
He's a Marine. That's his character arc. He's a Marine. He tells everyone he's a Marine. He acts like a Marine. He acts like a father who was a former Marine.
Yep.
Like, it's just that trope. Like, that's his character.
Yeah. And, they put
we've seen it.
They sprinkle some drama with it in this one. And, it's enough to, like, keep you watching. But you're pumped when you get back to the other stuff going on.
And, like, a colonel is a colonel, but he's developing, like you said, a lot more. And there's more dimensions to his character. And he's, like, the most bombastic character on the screen, besides, we'll talk about her in a minute, too, the fire chick Nabi lady.
Yeah.
But, like, in terms of, like, characters that are interesting to watch, I think is the most fun, because Jake Sully, like I said, he's pretty generic, like, movie hero.
I like him because I know him at this point.
Right. He's familiar. He's comfortable. There's nothing wrong with him.
He's got a family.
He's just not, like, the most interesting, like, in terms of interesting protagonist, like, put him up beside Aragorn.
They sure put him into some interesting situations, though, in this one. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
They do some cool shit with him.
He's competent. It's definitely, this is the most dramatic of the 3 films. Like, it's the most serious. It has the most serious subject matter, because we leave off the second film with the death of their son. So, like, they're processing that in this movie as, like, that's not even a spoiler. Like, that's just obvious that would be going on.
Yeah, the movie's
same day. I understand why that needs to happen, but it does make it for more seriousness. Like, the characters have to be a lot more dramatic, so there's a lot less fun in the beginning, because they're processing this trauma. And Neytiri, is that the Zoe Saldana's? Yeah, like, she spends her first few scenes, like, very grief-stricken, and she's angry pretty much throughout the movie.
You kind of watch that development, of getting over that through war.
Yeah. And she processes her trauma through war pretty much, but still traumatized.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so in terms of, like, characters that were actually having a good time still, like, the Colonel character is the fun one to watch, because he's having a great time. Like, even though he's consistently losing and getting outmaneuvered by Jake Sully. And you still want him
to lose. He's still the bad guy.
Yeah, he's still
just
a bad
fun,
dude.
Bad
he's still
guy to watch.
Wipes out villains. I'm not saying he's a good person. Like, my favorite character does not equal I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
In the story, it's just that, like,
I'm glad he's
is the most interesting to watch. Yeah. Like, these movies would be lesser without him. Which
and what? Going into the second one, knowing that this was their plan, was making him come back and I was like, this is stupid. But now I'm like, actually, no. And I think I felt that way when I watched the second one. I was like, actually, no, I'm into this. I remember in the second one, when he smashes his own skull, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I like this.
Yeah, like they're not going to find a better antagonist at this point, and I do think it's what this series needs. Like they need some kind of memorable arc or a character or something, so has that cultural relevance that people could reference. And like they're just not going to find someone at this point better than him. Like they've already done the mistake of introducing new characters that aren't that great already, that they can't write out, which I did hear a funny quote from James Cameron about Spider, the character, which we'll talk about him because he's pretty important to this film.
For sure.
But apparently James Cameron tried to write him out of the story originally. I don't think it was even necessarily because of the actor. I think it was even before they made the second or third film.
Yeah.
But he said it didn't work because otherwise the Colonel and Jake are just, if they don't have a reason to clash over a child or something,
sure.
They're just two dudes that hate each other.
Maybe not even clash. There's no reason for them to even ever whoa, compromise.
Right. Have any kind of interactions. So they needed some kind of sticking point, common chain that keeps them drawn to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it'd just be a pretty bland antagonistic relationship. So I get the need for the character. I just think the actor they got, he's the newer actor, and he's definitely, I think, one of the weakest in these films.
Yeah, you know what?
He's not atrocious. He's not egregious.
No.
It's not Anakin Skywalker level, Jake Lloyd level. I hope people don't bully him over this. But
yeah, no, and I don't think so. And I think they plan on to continue using him. This kind of ties into a feeling that I've had ultimately when it comes to James Cameron and movies and the types of movies he makes, and honestly the Avatar types of movies in general. I think he does what I love most about James Cameron is he makes movies that basically have this the same DNA of the types of movies that were made when he was making movies in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And presents them in the newest way. And I think they contradict themselves. I think that way of doing things for some people contradicts itself. Whereas I really enjoy it. I'm okay, where this feels a little less for A, B, or C, it actually fits the tone of trying to feel like a 70s, 80s movie. And with that comes bad actors. Some are not, noticeably bad actors, and yet he makes it work.
Well, I know the kid who played John Connor in Terminator 2, people did not like at the time. He's not considered a great actor, but Terminator 2 is still considered one of the best sequels of all time. And no, I totally agree with you of how he kind of still makes films when he was at his peak in the 70s and 80s. And I think that's a big benefit, because one of the things I noticed about these Avatar films in general is that they don't feel they're definitely a modern film with the most modern magic, and basically rewrote the book in terms of how to visually present a modern film.
Yeah.
But they don't, story structure wise, they don't feel like a modern movie. And they're one of those movies that doesn't suffer from
out of it when he's just
it's
trying to make a good romp.
It doesn't suffer from the sincerity issue that people have started to complain about, of how we've kind of just been drowning in irony in our films and stuff, where every dramatic moment needs to be undercut with a quip or a joke in a lot of this film. And this movie doesn't have that. It's about blue people on an alien planet that's completely made up from James Cameron's mind.
Yeah.
And they are taking it completely seriously, and that invites us to take it more seriously, even though it's ridiculous on the surface. And that's a good thing, because movies used to be like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of movies these days aren't exactly like that, but this one is. They aren't funny movies. There's comedic parts in them.
I
Sometimes
don't know, man.
not even intentionally.
I will say, during this movie in particular, I laughed so fucking hard at one point. I thought I was gonna tear up because I couldn't let it out. I was trying to fight it. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I laughed.
It's like the hokey comedy where it's like, I don't even think they necessarily mean for this to be funny, but because of the sincerity that like they're taking in these scenes, like it is just genuinely funny.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what scene you're talking about.
Yeah,
and
we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
Did you watch the Australians video on it?
I started
or listen to their podcast.
I started it, and then I was like, I'm going to wait till I talk about it to hear their thoughts.
They mentioned that scene, and they had the same reaction that we did. So yeah. I'm guessing that scene's...
Dude.
A lot of people probably laughed at it.
I couldn't, but like, it just hit me, because the whole, like you said, the whole movie is so serious.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they just walk up, and like, first all I saw was like WWE wrestlers. Like, that's what I couldn't not see that. And then even, the more I even took in what I was seeing, I was still, it wasn't any less ridiculous. Oh my God. I was laughing, and I was fighting it. You know how loud I can laugh if I think our theater was not a group
kicked out of our theater.
Right. It would have been I would have been the only one. And there, it wasn't packed, but there were people that would be like,
but yeah, it wasn't a crowd that was like watching movies like we watch movies where like we sometimes like to whisper jokes,
especially
or commentate on it.
I like the Avatar series, but we're not like diehards. I mean, fuck, if we were diehards, we would have seen it opening night. We saw it Sunday.
Right.
Yeah. Afternoon, which for Avatar movies, if they're all going to be this fucking long, I think that's how we should watch all of them, is just at noon, because that was, I was awake for the whole thing. I think that's what helped with like, when I saw we were 2 hours in, I was like, okay, we're moving. Yep.
We walked out, it was still daylight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perfect time to watch one of these movies. With all that being said, I think I want to dive into spoilers. That's as much as I can say about this movie, I think, without spoiling it. But I do want to talk about some things.
Certainly.
Let's see. Do we want to start with goods, bads, sads, thoughts? Here's one more thing I guess I could say before we really dive into it. But I think the whole series holds itself back in the sense of like, it touches on the fantasy elements, but it doesn't dive far enough deeper into them. Like, I wanted with, like, the Kiri abilities and, like, other things that they kind of presented in Way of Water. Not that they didn't develop, but I wanted a little more and maybe a little more information about it.
Right.
Why
There's still time for that. Like,
but
I definitely think they'll like, if a fourth one does come out, they will show...
You have to.
...her powers.
Yeah.
So, basically, I guess if we can just get into spoilers... Mm-hmm. There's a few running plot threads. Like, it follows the, like, perspectives of several different characters. So, like, Jake Sully, obviously, his son, who this movie's kind of like his coming of age story for his son.
Yeah.
The surviving one.
Which in a weird way, the last movie was kind of like that too.
Yeah. The Sigourney Weaver one, which I think is voiced by Sigourney Weaver, isn't she? Yeah.
Capped by her.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver's daughter, Dobby, who...
Kitty.
As we were talking about... Is that her name, Kitty?
Kitty.
Yeah, who... in this film, her... like, AWA powers are being developed more, where... I forget what all happened in the second film, but they showed it in the second film.
It started. She definitely does more with it in this one.
Yeah, her thing is she can't connect to the the neural network that all the Na'vi can connect to with their hair. Like, she's blocked out from it. But she also has a special connection to AWA, and as we find out later, like, she has some like warrior AWA powers. I think they mentioned like the warrior goddess powers, where it happened in the first movie where AWA like decides to help them, and then basically like the planet itself turns into a weapon, and all the animals fight on their side, the plants fight on their side. Like
Kiri just gets the first movie's end battle powers.
Yeah, basically.
But in the last movie, she could only do it a little. In this one, it was full blown first movie end scene.
So if we're thinking of in like anime, because James Cameron watches
anime, definitely. After watching this movie, you don't think that. If he tries to deny it, he's a fucking liar. He's a liar. He watches anime. Go on.
Yeah, so she gets that anime power. The important main character power. It's setting her up to be like a main character, basically. Like she's gonna be really important.
To me, she's like an Avatar, but like from the Avatar Last Airbender universe. Like,
yeah, surprisingly a lot of similarities between the actual two Avatar things that get confused all the time. We always have to distinguish between the two. Yeah. Whichever one we're talking about.
Yeah. I like to really fuck with people. If somebody says like the blue bird, like the blue people, I'm like the blue arrow? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she has the AWA powers.
She does have the AWA powers.
The Spider, the human boy.
The human boy. The human boy who could.
I would say the plot centers, out of all the children, the plot centers around him the most, or like it's
they sort of make him a MacGuffin.
Yeah, he's basically a human MacGuffin. Which happens in stories. Humans can be MacGuffins.
Mm-hmm. And this is a cool one. I mean, I think it's interesting.
Out of any MacGuffins, they did this one in an interesting way of the way they're taking it, and it's understandable. But basically, so if we're getting into spoilers, Spider's whole thing is that he's a human. He can't breathe the air. He always has to live in a mask, and that is starting to take a toll because they're still fugitives. They don't have like regular access to human mask equipment, and they started to run into problems. They end up going with the air nomads, the airbenders. Show up.
Yeah, they do. It's in their blimps, in the Fire Nation blimps.
Yeah, so right away, this is like early, like beginning of the movie, we meet a new Na'vi tribe, which we don't learn their names, but they're sky traders, they call them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we do get a name, but I glossed over it. But yeah, there's sky traders.
Yeah, and they're cool.
Raiders.
They're cool. Like this is, part of what I always get excited for with new Avatar movies is like seeing like the new animals and like how the different tribes use different animals.
Yeah.
And so these ones have like some cool air focused animals that are kind of like giant balloons.
Yeah.
Like these big like sky whales.
Yeah, they're like a whale balloon. Yeah.
Yeah, that like push these ships around, and they're like nomadic traders, and I call them air nomads because they're nomads. They go from place to place trading things.
Yeah.
And they kind of dress like them too. Like these Na'vi dress in robes, and they're more kind of like swashbuckling.
Yeah, I really like their aesthetic. I mean, they're not in the movie long, but I was hoping they would be with how much I liked the way they like looked.
I thought they were gonna be more important, but I guess they were kind of just like
they get fucked
world building
away. Yeah. World building, and then to set up a neat action scene, because I do think the pacing for action scenes in this movie, they keep you pretty well paced with
very well done.
Yeah, till the crescendo.
Yeah, so like they have to go with these sky traders with Spider to find more masks. And along the way, they're ambushed by the Ash People tribe. I think they call themselves the Ash People.
Something like that.
That's what the name that they're given. But they're a warlike Na'vi.
The Raiders hit the traders.
Yeah, the Raiders hit the traders. The scene where they come across is like very cool. It's like pretty normal scene, like it's like just between the characters, kind of like business as usual talking, and like they're flying on their griffins or whatever they're called, wyverns.
Yeah.
Bird things. And then all of a sudden, like...
I love that somebody out there is like, they're called this, but like...
Yeah.
Wyvern bird thing works for me.
Yeah. Oh. And you see Neytiri's perspective, and she's flying. And then all of a sudden, like you see a bunch of shadows fall from behind her, and like it's just on, like the ambush scene.
Yeah.
Like,
pretty well done.
They all come from the sky.
Pretty fun to watch. The way the Ash people fight, when that one lights himself on fire, or she lights him on fire, and he just fucking kamikazes the one ship to use like fire fighting.
They had a
pretty
Mad
cool.
Max style witness me moments of just like, I wouldn't even be surprised if they took inspiration from Mad Max, because they're crazy warlike Navi people, so they're pretty gung-ho about death. One lights himself on fire and like dive bombs an air blimp animal
blimp
and kills it.
And I mean the kids have to escape. That's what I mean. You get the same kid escape from the bad guy scene that you get in the last movie, but it's amplified. It's, better.
Yeah, they're all separated. Did you think, I thought for a split second that they were going to actually kill Neytiri?
Dude, I did too. When she took the arrow, and it was early on in the movie, but I was like, I guess if they're going to do it, might as well do it quick.
Be a way to set up the new antagonist of like she kills their strongest warrior. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was at that point I was like, yeah, I'd believe they'd kill her. They didn't, but like, I also thought she was gonna die. And then the more that it kind of dragged her out, like going, because like I thought she was dead immediately. And then once
they showed that she survived, like she like landed on things to cushion her fall, I was like, okay, she's alive.
Yeah, I was a little worried about her when she went to break Jake out of jail, which I thought that was also really fun. Actually, I liked the idea of Jake in his Avatar form, with like all these people yelling at him as he's coming in to get put into prison. Like that's as much culture we get from like non-Na'vi people, but it's like it's a little bit more. It's a little something more. They have some type of society that gives a shit about all this.
Right.
So that was fun. And his breakout scene in general
that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was basically different.
Yeah, we could describe the story. That's it. That happens a bit later in the movie.
Yeah.
Like close to the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to sum up the movie, from up to like after they're attacked by the raiders, they're all separated. They have to find each other again.
Mm-hmm.
Spider gets like his mask gets broken and he almost dies. And then Cutie, is her name?
Kitty.
The one with the new nature powers summons the help from Awa, and like this like spore, like hair-like spore, kind of like mycelium things, fungus starts to cover his body.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and he can breathe without a mask on Pandora, which is a big deal.
It's the first time a human's ever been able to do it. His entire biology has changed.
Completely unassisted, so like he's been changed by Pandora himself.
She straight up changed him into a MacGuffin.
Yeah, which
on the spot.
It's great for him, but also bad for everyone else, because now this means he is very valuable to the humans on Pandora who want to capture him and study him and find a way to replicate it so all humanity can breathe on Pandora, and then they'll fully colonize the planet, because that's basically where these movies have been going, is that humanity keeps coming and coming. They have a whole city built now at this point, and they're only going to keep colonizing more until, like they said, Pandora's going to look just like how Earth was.
Yeah.
And once they're done with that, they'll move on to the next planet.
This movie does not hold off on being like, people suck. Human beings are trash messaging. Just are.
Yep.
These movies make you feel bad about humans. They make you sad about animals.
Dad. Still destroying the planet.
Yep.
Still
hard to
killing
see.
Whales. Yeah. But yeah, after that point, you could say the movie just goes into a series of different characters being captured and uncaptured and recapturing each other for like a good hour and a half.
A lot of bartering, a lot of I'm going to kill somebody, but they never do. So you kind of wonder if they ever will.
A lot of capture. A lot of capture. A lot of holding knives up to people's throats.
It's fun. It keeps you involved. I did enjoy the beginning bit where Jake and Miles Quarch, are teaming up. Colonel Miles, yeah, Quarch. You don't think people will be going as him for Halloween this year? You don't think he's left a mark?
They could now.
They might now. So that was cool seeing them like kind of like buddy up at the beginning, because I wasn't sure if like, are they gonna team up this whole movie to fight the main fire bitch? No, but that's
they do have a brief anime team up where the villain from a previous season teams up with the heroes because they share a common goal or a common enemy at this point, and that is to get Spider, because Spider is Quaritch's real son, and he is Jake's adopted son.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, with Miles Quaritch, the Colonel, he's my favorite character. He has a whole side plot in this movie and arc where he enlists the help of the fire people, the ash people, Na'vi, and starts, everyone called it, banging the head Na'vi chick, like the chiefess.
Good for him, though. Truly.
Barada, I think her name is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Great character.
Yeah.
Love that character. She's scary
cool.
and sexy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
they do try to make
combination for a blue cat girl.
Yeah, she's crazy. They're all. We find out that these Na'vi have basically been.
At one point.
Yeah, they do drugs. They like to kill people.
Yeah.
They do something similar to like scalping, where they'll take the hair tails of slain Na'vi, which is seen as like a big
deal. Oh my god, this movie really introduced like one of her big first attacks is she connects to people through the hair and like attacks them through that link.
Yes, it introduced that they can use their hair for combat.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Because that's how she's initially captured by Quaritch, and then she does that move on his Na'vi, and he's not expecting it, so she captures him then.
Yeah.
And he introduces them to weapons, quite literally how, the cowboys introduced like gunpowder and rifles to the Native Americans.
Sure, yeah.
Definitely didn't cause any future problems.
Future solutions, if you ask me.
But yeah, because they're fire people, they worship fire. They love to like light themselves on fire and throw fire around. They're obviously going to be interested in firearms.
Sure are. That's the only connection to fire this whole movie even fucking has. There's
pretty much it's just like, what if
name
Na'vi
is misleading?
What if not only the human Na'vi have guns, but all of them do?
Yeah. Scary thought.
At this point, the only Na'vi that use guns were humans.
And it presents a really, scary camaraderie, because like they were already scary and now they have weapons and now they're working for the government. Like it's
basically he's going through the same arc that Jake had in the first movie. Just a darker twisted version of it, because he's a dark, twisted version of Neytiri, you could say.
Yeah, and they kind of do have like a bitch off throughout the movie, which I'm all for.
I did look it up because I couldn't assume, like you would assume that they've been doing this for generations, but
they're rather new.
More recently became raiders and like forsaken Awa. They don't worship Awa.
She was a kid when whatever happened made them not believe in Awa. So it's just like her lifetime.
Basically, there's some fire. It burnt down like their home and everything around them.
Turn it into ash. It's the titular fire and ash.
Yeah, they called out to Awa for help, and she didn't answer. So they turned against her and became evil and started to like raid other Na'vi for their resources.
And all the history and all the any information you get out of them, there it was. Boom. Which is enough. For this movie, it's enough.
I wish so if we're going to talk about some of the things that we wish could have been different, I did think they were the most interesting part of the story, and I do wish that they were fleshed out more, like their region, because like with the water people, we get how they live and, you know, their culture and dynamics. Same with the forest people. Like, we do get that with the fire people, but it's more surface level, just like, oh, they're savages.
Yeah.
Like, they're just the crazy warlike ones.
They kind of are. Like, they're just tree people that went bad. So, like, I get why we didn't get a lot, but it'd be fun to see more.
You could make them more interesting beyond just being tree people who went bad, is what I'm saying. Like,
sure, and hopefully
you could have written a different story.
Movies, maybe they can develop them. That's the thing about these movies. They really can just pluck and do, like, who did we develop in the last one? Quartz? Okay, this time we're developing the fire people. Like,
because I was waiting for, like, some cool, like, lava beast Pandora monster that they use or something. But she does, the one new thing we do get, besides, like, the sky people animals, which are very brief, and they kind of use the same animals from the previous two movies the most, but the main mount of the fire lady is like a different mount from the rest of them. It's almost like a bug-like thing.
Yeah. So you gotta wonder
like a
where
dragonfly
those come from. Yeah.
But that's about the only new one. Otherwise, it's the same sea creatures. The whales get another spotlight.
Some new sea. There's some new like kind of flowery monster creatures. But yeah, I know what you mean. There's no like new mount characters.
Are you talking about those flowers that she used to knock out the guards?
Yes, or even like the one.
I think those are just flowers
that Kiri like summoned at one point and like shot needles out of.
Yeah, I think that was just a flower.
Huh. I mean, everything's alive on Pandora.
Yeah.
So it is an alive flower. I don't know. I thought there were some new visual elements, but just not a lot. And another thing, I like the fantasy element. Like, I like the scene of going into like the whales' higher culture because they are this like smarter sea creature, and you kind of like get that crazy scene where the alive son Noak maybe is his name, kind of has his completion of coming to age as he fights for his whale to be part of the whale army and like get recommended by the whale army.
Payakun, I think the whale's name was.
Sure. And yeah, he kind of, I don't know. That's his fantasy character development arc, the crescendo kind of moment. He gets the whales to be like, we're going to fucking kill people now.
The Australians described it as when they were like introducing the movie, was like, it answers questions such as, can you teach a whale to hate? Because that is kind of what the crux behind the whales is that they're like pacifists and they don't believe in fighting.
But it's about goddamn time.
They're trying to get them to go back on that and be like, no, you'd actually be very useful in the ocean battle that we're about to have.
You don't have to fight the things that live here naturally, but these are invaders and we need to kill them because they're killing you.
And they will wipe you out.
And they do some cool shit because in the last one they didn't do any. Like the main one did some fighting, but like the other ones didn't fight. So it was cool to see like, oh, this whole pod is about to fuck shit up. And the way they kill that like main dude that I thought died in the last movie, all he did was lose his arm. Now he's got a robot arm. The way they killed him, fucking awesome. Great way to go out.
Yep, all of the things that were supposed to fight in the battle in the second movie actually fought in the third movie. The water tribe fought.
Mm-hmm. Sort of, I guess. Well, I don't know about that. I think the water tribe, they fought a little, but still dipped. Like, they still just disappear. Both movies, final battle scenes that look exactly the same, involve the water people army just disappearing.
You can't describe it away in the second movie because they didn't get fucked up that badly, but you could describe it away in the third movie. They're like, they did take some hits in this one. They took some casualties, so like they might have been dispersed.
Oh my god, the mom died. The mom died and gave birth. Jesus Christ, that was heavy. Yeah, the one kid, the one like friend of Noak's got fucking killed. Like, there were some deaths. The final battle, I was super into it, man. The fucking water things come, the sky things come, everybody's. It's just a fucking end game type of like final. Taruk Maktal comes. I loved how like the ships were getting exploded and like falling into that AWA portal for the final set piece. Like that was awesome. I was pretty jazzed about the end of the movie.
It was a very grand scale battle, but I at some points couldn't tell like it was like it scaled at however much it needed like there to be things still left at any point in the scene, because like you see his opening establishing shot of like all the things that are going there, and then like there's the initial attack where like they wipe out seemingly like a bunch, like most of their shit. Like it looks like they're wiping out a lot of their ships, and like they took out the main mothership and stuff.
Yeah,
and then the fire people counterattack, and it looks like they fuck them up a bunch of and kill a bunch of them.
Classic
and then
movies.
It still looks like
movies.
Like all of their fleet and shit is still intact, even though like that initial attack fucked them up pretty badly.
Yeah.
Now it looks like all of the Na'vi on their side are suddenly gone or dead. But then they would come back later, so like you can never quite tell where the battle was going.
Yeah.
Like it just evolved into chaos. And then like whenever they needed there to still be a lot of things back, like it's suddenly nighttime now, but they still have all their ships and like underground submarine fleets. And so we need to kill them all again because we need the second wave to counterattack. Yeah. So it's just like, all right, it's just however much we say they have in any given moment.
In the movie too, like that's another thing that a movie that's 3 hours long kind of has in its favor is like you are willing to forgive because you're finally at the action part of this long ass movie, and it's good. So you're just like whatever. But yeah, you're right.
This is where it gets the most. The last hour and a half, I would say, is the most egregious for like you just copied someone's homework and changed it a little bit, because down to like the set pieces that they use, it's almost like identical in terms of like the story beat, because they have to go back into I'm pretty sure they used the same set piece from the second movie of like the sunken ship, because they sink another big ship in the third movie, and his kids are captured again and taken to that sinking ship, and they have to infiltrate this ship, like the same exact thing that happened in the battle in the second movie.
Yeah. For sure.
Like down to the numbers, just like the antagonists were switched around a little.
It has the set piece of the portal fucking shipwreckage battle happening, because if that
while this is all going on, there's like a big magnet in the sky.
Yeah, if that part wouldn't have showed up, it would have been exactly like that was the new addition that they added to what they copied.
Which that doesn't really even affect anything until the very end.
Ship. Yeah. I mean, you saw me like when and like there's a fluctuation of like there's battle
it's
shit
different
going
characters
on.
Doing the thing at this point.
There's the anime scene of like Kiri and Spider and the little one like in the spirit world doing that to like to get Awa to come and be a part of the battle. And I love how she like gets the electric in her hair and she fights off the Ash bitch, like stay away from my mom, a cool scene. Bitch.
Again, that was another scene where it's just like, all right, now she's got the power to counterattack. So now they're suddenly going to have a bunch of ships left again.
Yeah.
Which, again, you forgive it at that point. But I was just like, all right, it's just more for the spectacle than like actually a coherent battle.
And I was still like, that's where I was locked into the movie. Like the whole probably first hour and a half, I was like, yeah, I like this. I'll tell you what, man, as soon as we hit that Spider scene where Jake is going to take Spider in the woods, tell him to go look at
we
the
didn't
flowers.
Even talk about that scene. That's the best scene. It might be the best scene.
It was such a weird, it felt out of place, but I still really liked it. Like it was just very dark and I didn't know where it was going.
In terms of emotional weight, that's the best scene of the movie, because they genuinely like. I don't even care about Spider. I didn't really like him as like his character. I found him annoying, but like I was still like, well, I hope he doesn't do it. Like
kill this kid. Like this is pretty dark.
And they do a good job at making it look like he's going to.
Yeah, and it's a subtle way of like showing character development happen through Jake and Neytiri as they overcome like. They want to kill this kid, but they're like, we shouldn't.
It was a brief scene.
Kid.
It was a brief scene that made me actually like be like, oh, I actually care about these characters and want them to do well. Even though I was like on the surface and like, yeah, they're the main characters, but I was still just like, you can't corrupt Jake Sully.
You can't corrupt Jake Sully and kill Spider. Kiri loves him. They kissed. Oh no. Yeah, it was like, but I believe they do it, even though they didn't. But I would believe that they were going to do it, but I liked that they didn't. It was an overall very deep scene for a movie that's not necessarily all that deep.
Yeah, it's like the trolley problem, where it's like, would you kill your son in order to save your planet, basically.
Yeah. And I don't know. And I think it was from that point on, that's when the movie itself was just like, okay, every scene is kind of big like that, and then it's the end, and then it's the action stuff. So it was like, once we got going, you saw me. You saw me next to you. I was having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Court shows up dressed like a fucking, Kratos, and that made me laugh.
Oh, yeah. That
God
scene.
Damn,
so that was the scene we were saying that we laughed out loud at.
Laughed so like, oh God.
He walks in.
Just
the colonel walks in.
Full freak.
The movie's very serious at this point, but he's been having like this Na'vi native experience.
Yeah.
And like there's this one scene where he walks in with the general, like this person who doesn't like him in the first place because he's insubordinate. And he's walking in like full Ash people clothes, like war paint, everything, like loincloth.
It makes sense, but it's just so like it hits you. It's a moment that just completely hits you.
Well, you can even see like the human characters in the room are all kind of like, what the fuck are you wearing?
Yeah,
they don't say anything to him, but they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of like what the audience reaction is. And it's just so fun.
I was gonna cry. I was laughing as quiet as possible, as hard as I could.
Yeah,
and I couldn't stop.
And
the movie played for a while before I finally calmed down.
The most racist man you know once he finally gets some kind of community.
Totally. Oh my God. Yes.
Because he wears like military clothes on his Na'vi up to like that point. That's the first time he actually like starts to adopt the native culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the best part of the film, I would say.
Yes. Oh. Hands down.
So I guess this is the biggest spoiler of the film. And they definitely could bring him back because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But he does.
They've already done it.
He does supposedly sacrifice himself in the end, the colonel, and
kind of an unnecessary sacrifice, sort of like they were.
Yeah, like they were gonna just capture him.
Yeah.
Again, which he'd been captured 3 different goddamn times in the movie already, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But now he like jumps and
it's like, if I can't go be with my girlfriend, I'm out of here.
Yeah, jumps into the big magnet. The girlfriend, interestingly, survives, so she'll probably remain an antagonist in future films, which is good. They should keep her around. I was glad they didn't kill her off in this.
Just a side, like even if they're not that important in the later ones, they're still. I'm happy to see them.
You especially need her if you're gonna kill him off because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead. I don't think. I think he said it best. Like it was kind of weird that he even did it at all. It's like he was just.
They are setting him.
We would have got a Gollum in the lava pit death if he did die.
Yeah, they were setting up his arc of like they're trying to get him to have a change of heart to where he's starting to finally see a little bit of like what Jake Sully's talking about. He won't admit it to himself yet, but he's starting to kind of like finally vibe with Pandora.
Yes, agreed. Very much agreed. My son just found his Spider-Man stickers and he's fucking stoked.
Nice.
As he should be. As anyone should be. I'm just as stoked every time I look over at my bed and I see them.
Yeah, I heard him. He's like, oh.
He feels that way about a lot of things. He's just pumped. He's just psyched about life. I can't imagine if he saw this movie, he'd be like, whoa, like I was. I'm telling you, of the 3 Avatar movies, I think when I saw the first one, I was really into it, but not like that. And the second one, I was just like, I need to get out of the theater. The third one, though, I mean, it's like a football game. I was like, let's fucking go. Oh, no. Oh, wow.
It's probably the one I had the most fun with in the theater.
Yeah. We saw it in 3D.
And that's because, like,
you have to touch it.
I know, like, I've accepted them for what they are. Like, they don't need to be anything greater.
They're
like
really
if they keep doing this
impressively good for what they are.
Yeah, I like them for what they are.
I had
they don't have to like get deeper into the story.
Yeah,
I do think it's funny that they basically wrote out on Obtainium at this point.
Yeah, they're just getting that whale.
I know they still getting on Obtainium, but like now it's just like the whale juice is the stuff that they're the MacGuffin they're focusing on.
Do you think in the next one they do another whale battle? Like they'd have to move on from whale battling
I hope so.
for the final battle. They'd have to.
I do think it would. I do think it would
now
be
the
funny.
ones are fighting. If they did it again,
it would. I would respect
everything
them
that was repeated.
I
kind of laughed about anyways. So I mean,
yeah. It just would be really like a really funny move if they did it a fourth time. At that point, you can't even be mad. You just laugh. Yeah.
The fact that the water tribe just disappeared in the fight again, I was like, I don't think that was a mistake in the last one. I think he's doing this.
If they
shit
literally
on purpose.
do make the fourth one just like ice and snow, and it's the same movie just in the tundra, I would respect that so much.
Yeah, a little bit, especially if they do it again where it's just better. They just do it again, but a little bit better. Some people say this isn't their favorite. I think it is my favorite of the three. I don't know.
I don't know what's my favorite yet. If it's the second one, I'd have to rewatch the second one. I think I'll put this one over the first one. I still like the first one a lot.
Yeah.
And the first one now definitely with three of them being out is the most you could say different from the other two.
They're not a trilogy you want to watch like back to back or even a weekend thing. Like you couldn't do it. I don't even think you couldn't watch. See, here's the weird thing. He
especially
filmed
the second and third
as
one.
One big movie. They're supposed to be just one big movie, but they're too similar that it's just like you can't even watch them back to back or as one movie. You have to put time in between. Yeah. You can watch the first one and then pick and choose if you want to watch the second or third.
It's not a good series to marathon, especially the jump from 2 to 3, because you will, by the time you're watching 3, be like, didn't I just watch this?
Yeah, it's not as good right after.
Yeah.
Because I had rewatched the second one, going into this one, but it had been a little bit of time, like a couple weeks. And I was still like, ooh.
Didn't that just happen? Yeah.
But I liked it more. So I don't know. I like I said, I think a different me might have even came out of that movie just being like, what the fuck was that? They did the same thing again. I remember after I saw the second one the first time, there was somebody in the theater that was like, incredible. How does he do this? And I was just kind of like, I didn't feel that way about this movie at all. like we were just in totally different ballparks. Whereas with this one, I still don't know if I'd be like gawking to the screen, like impressed with James Cameron for being alive, but like I had a fun time.
I feel like at this one, this is the one where you knew the most what to expect going into it at this point. So it was hard to have your expectations set too high. The second one was basically a legacy sequel because it came out like 15 years after the first movie or something crazy. Yeah. So like it had high expectations. You didn't have that for this one, so you could kind of just go into it enjoying it for what you know is it's going to give you, and it sure does.
It sure does.
Give you exactly that.
Yeah, exactly that. For what this movie is, it's a 5-star movie for me for what it is. If it was in a grand scale rating, I'd give it like a 4 out of 5, maybe a 3 point something. But yeah.
I'm trying to think.
It is the new Avatar
I feel like
movie.
It's even as a movie, if it stands by itself, like you could probably watch it and enjoy it without needing to watch any of the other movies, other than like why characters are where they are. I also guess it's
the beginning would be kind of confusing because it's in like the spirit realm and Noak's playing with his dead brother, and that would be a little confusing. But like you'd pick it up. You'd pick it up. Yeah, they're not overly. There is a complexity to these movies, but they're not overly complex movies. I don't know how better to say it than that.
That is one of the elements that you mentioned they should have dived in more, was like the fantasy stuff.
I think so. I think like they touch on it. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad it's there. It's sci-fi, but
I do
dive a little deeper into it.
I do love the scene where they finally push through in like the AWA realm to like summon the power.
Yeah.
And it turns into like water where they're like suddenly swimming, and it's just like a giant face.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be Sigourney Weaver's face? I couldn't tell.
I don't know. I hope
literally
not.
Like the swimming and like a dark, it looks like an underwater reef, and then there's just like this giant white face, like giant, next to the characters.
I know
and you
what
only
you're
see
talking
it
about, but
you only see its like side profile, so you only see like one eye, and it looks like a human, but it's hard to make out. And I wasn't sure if I mean, it's supposed to be like Awa, like that's supposed to be who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mother Earth.
and yeah, but it would be weird if Awa is a human because it didn't look like a Na'vi face. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's supposed to be Sigourney Weaver's face because Sigourney Weaver's in there.
That would make sense. That's her connection with her. It's one of those things. That's the thing. James Cameron leaves these little vague things that he can either just leave or he can maybe play with later. He doesn't. I feel like these movies are made like Star Wars movies. There's no real plan, but there's like a sort of plan.
They don't touch upon that scene in the movie.
Not enough. Not enough. But honestly, yeah, they still should have shaved some time. Maybe shaved some time and made some more time for some of that. But any less in that movie is a good thing because, like, it's a long ass movie.
Oh
yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else to mention.
Yeah, I think we covered.
I thought the Sun storyline was fine.
It was the same one from the last movie, but just a little bigger.
Yeah. The one daughter's still useless. Her only purpose is to get captured sometimes, so they have a reason to go places. Because that is another thing. Like, the reason why so many characters are captured throughout the film is because these characters don't have any reason to interact other than if they are holding something hostage.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, they have to. Otherwise, they just stay in the water village and chill. Which there are plenty of scenes of them staying in the water village, just chilling.
Yeah.
Talking about character drama stuff.
Yeah.
So those are fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was like one too many scenes of Sigourney Weaver's Avatar and Spider like sitting on that reef rock, just like complaining about how they're different.
Yeah.
There's like 4
of
those scenes, like in the same exact
It's like kiss location. Already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a 3-hour and 20-minute movie. Did we need 4 scenes?
One of these could have been a deleted scene on the DVD extras. Come on. Yeah. I'd say and that's really it. It's just, it's a little extra of stuff you're already cool with. But, like, you could just take it out. That's what floats this movie's runtime for as long as it does. James Cameron thinks it needs to be there. I guess we'll roll with it. I mean, the payoff, the end, the way I felt, everything worked. I think some of that has to do with the runtime. I think he knows how to mold a long runtime into an enjoyable final act. Yeah.
It's definitely, it's not one that you're going to feel tortured getting through. But
no.
It does make it hard to rewatch right away.
Oh, yeah. We'll see when my rewatch of it finally. Like, I liked it. This is gonna be like a cool thing in my head for like a week, and then it's gonna go right back in the vault, right back in the Disney vault in my head. Yeah.
Well, I think you said about most of it gonna cut this off at a clean 2 hours.
That's not bad. That's an hour and 15 minutes shorter than Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
So not bad. And we only talked about it
not
for
bad at all.
Cool. Well, Braden, we had a lovely time going to the movies and doing this.
Same here.
It's good to end the year with, the big movie of the year, especially if that big movie's an Avatar movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one last thing that we forgot to mention that I just wanted to touch upon. I loved the acid tripping scene with the Colonel.
Absolutely.
One of the best scenes.
That was funny. Like, that was, like, I think intentionally, like, it was serious and funny. It was fucking one battle after another kind of shit. Yeah.
And that's where it's like he gets given these like goofy lines that would almost be cringy if he didn't deliver them so well.
Yeah.
Because at one point she like cuts him with a dagger to be like, I don't know, sexy or something. And he's like, hey, not cool. And he's like stoned out of his mind.
It also
and
helps that he's stoned out of his mind.
Yeah, it's just funny, like the way, like his delivery. And he has a few lines like that.
Yeah, agreed.
Like at the end where they capture him, or they're like, like they finish their big fight and they're all like laying next to each other. And he's like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
But it just works.
Yeah. He's kind of being sarcastic about it. It's well done. duly noted. Glad you brought those up. Those are important parts.
Yeah.
Now we've got nothing left to say.